All right, welcome back to Voting Bootcamp. Minister Don Odom Jr., Social Justice Ministry Leader, Wheelam Avenue Baptist Church. We are going to get you in fit voting condition, both spiritually and mentally. They've put obstacles in our way, but we will vote, and we will vote early starting October 13th. Back with us is Sister Pam Gaskin of the League of Women Voters, and she is going to talk to us today about going to the polls. So if you've made the decision that you're going to vote, October 13th is the first day. So we expect for you to go, if not that day, at least by the end of the week. If you have not voted by Monday, then you're considered late. You're fashionably late if you vote on Friday, but we'd like you to vote as close to October 13th as possible. And so there are some things that we want to do in preparation of going to the polls. The first of which we talked about in another previous episode, which was downloading and filling out your sample ballot. So we are ready to vote, Aunt Pam, and we've grabbed our sample ballot and we're heading to the polls. What do we need to do to get our minds right to do that?
Well, you gotta do a couple of other things too before you go. You need to know where you're gonna vote. I want to show you. Could I share my screen here for a minute?
Absolutely.
Let's say you're in Harris County, and you want to go to. We're gonna do harrisvotes.com. So we want to know where we're gonna go vote. So we're going to go to harrisvotes.com and see this polling locations. And you can even say, what day do you want to vote on? So we're doing early voting. So here are the early voting sites. And you got all these little pin. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. You got all these little pinpricks here, but you also have here where you can vote on the right side of the screen, on the left side of the screen. You can go to Toyota
if you can highlight
Center.
that, if you could show the drive-through, the ones that have drive-through capabilities. If you go back to number 3, see where the little car is next to Toyota Center.
Right.
Yes.
Let me. Yeah, if they have a car, that's a drive-through. Here's another drive-through, the John Phelps Courthouse in Pasadena. NRG. And here's a note on NRG, it will be open for 24 hours, right. October 29th, and accepts vote by mail applications and ballots.
Yes.
Here's another drive-through.
Salute to Brother Chris Hollins, Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church member.
He has done a wonderful job.
Phenomenal job.
Making voting accessible to all. Resurrection Metropolitan Community Church is a drive-through. That's on West 11. So, and HCC West Loop, that's over there across from the AT&T building, I believe.
Yes.
Well, not, but it's over there near 610 and the West Loop. So you can drive through there. Or you can, if you're more traditional, you can look and see, here's Texas Southern University on Blodgett. And oh, look what we have here. Wheeler Avenue. You can vote at the Wheeler Avenue Gymnasium.
Hey, glory.
Hey. Okay. On Ruth Street. So, University of Houston, the Kashmir Multi-Service Center. So these are all early voting locations. So you decide. So let's say we want to go to Wheeler Avenue and vote. Well, I think that was number 5, wasn't it?
There it is.
No.
9.
So I want to go to Wheeler Avenue. So I'm either going to click on here and get directions, and I can put in my address, and it's going to tell me how to get to Wheeler Avenue. So I'm going to do all that before I go home. before I go vote. So I'm gonna decide where I'm gonna go vote. I'm gonna make sure I have my photo ID with me. I'm gonna make sure I have my sample ballot that I pulled down. I've gone through and found out all about my the candidates. I've marked my sample ballot. I've got that in my bag or my purse or my man bag or whatever it is I'm taking. And then I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna go, or I'm gonna get on the bus and I'm gonna go. But I'm gonna go to the polling place. And so now we arrive there. And oh my goodness, a polling place. I'm a junkie, Ray. I love being around the atmosphere of an election. So you get there and you got all these signs and and you got all these people and they're giving you a card and they're saying, vote for this candidate, vote for that candidate. Well, those people out there for folks who haven't made up their minds. But you have made up your mind. You have your sample ballot, so you go walk directly into the polling place. Now, let me pause here. It has been said that there's going to be an army, literally, this is the word they used, an army of people who are going to be watching the polls for voter, whatever, voter
fraud. Right. There's
right, like,
without evidence or without
evidence, because
right.
Voter fraud is one in every 10, 20 million votes. We have a hard time getting people to vote one time, much less two. Okay.
And the difficulty of doing something fraudulent at the polling location is between slim and none. There's just very little.
This is true. But they are there to discourage people from voting.
Yes.
So let's just say that you drive up to Wheeler and you see a line out the door and you say, oh my God, ooh, I don't feel like standing in this line. Did I see where, so you whip out your little phone, you go to Harris Votes, you might could go to Texas Southern or you might go to U of H. There are going to be places around. So check those. And I think that Harris County is going to use that wait time app.
Yes, there's an app that shows you how much time.
You can put in and it shows about how much wait time you're going to have at a polling place. So this is a really great time saver. So go on and use that app. But let's just say it looks like it's okay to vote at Wheeler Avenue. So you may see some people there with, some Confederate flags on their trucks or, motorcycle jackets, or I'm not trying to, racially profile anybody, but, they're not going to look like you and me, Ray.
They said they were going to be out there. They said they were going to be out there.
And they're going to be saying things like, hope you don't have any warrants out, because when you give them your driver's license, they're going to check, oh, have you paid? Are you up to date on your student loans? Because, they're going to, and if it's a Hispanic voter, oh, ICE is inside there. They're looking for folks. Well, first of all, ICE is not looking for anybody that's a citizen. If you are voting, you are a citizen, okay? But, this is intimidation.
It's a scare tactic.
Right. Or have you paid your child support? If you haven't paid your child support, they're going to, the state's going to get you. So, just if you see something like that, don't confront these people, because they're out there, they're looking for an argument. And they're looking to just start something that's ugly. And the man that I most respect in Houston, Texas, is a man that you all know very dearly, Reverend Bill Lawson. I had the high privilege of attending his peaceful protest classes back in 1964 and 1965. And Reverend Lawson's first thing to us was, all protests must have purpose. There is no purpose that will be served by you confronting somebody who's there for ignorance. Take out your cell phone, take a picture of them if you can, and here's a number you can call: 1-866 our vote, OURVOTE. 1-866 our vote, OURVOTE. Say, there are people at this polling place at Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church in Houston, Texas, at the gymnasium on Ruth Street. They are doing voter intimidation. They are telling people that they're gonna go to jail, or they're gonna have to pay fines, et cetera, that, you know, they're gonna check them for warrants. Just report it and march yourself right on in there. Know this: inside the polling place, there is a person called the election judge. You get inside, you tell the clerk, I'd like to see the election judge, and report some activity outside that is voter suppressive. You tell the judge, that election judge on election day has the full force of the law. The election judge can have anybody arrested. So just tell the judge and keep it moving.
So what is the boundary that they have to be away from?
Well, there is an
voters?
electioneering boundary that is 100 feet from the entrance to the polling place. No electioneering, the people passing out cards and all that, they can't go beyond that.
100 feet?
Everybody has to and there are signs that say no electioneering beyond this point.
Got it.
So, and there'll be several signs. So,
but the theme or the focus is, don't let anybody stop you. Just keep moving forward. If somebody's coming up,
that's right.
And I'm so glad you said that, because I agree. It is what they want. They want somebody to, to try to get in a fight or to do these different things, to try to intimidate. So we're gonna let them sit there and be as
crazy as they want to be. Until
they can be as proud as they want. They can, they can do whatever it is that they want to do.
Yeah, but you are there. Remember, you are there to vote.
Amen.
You are there because you are a citizen. You have a franchise, and you are there to exercise your right as a citizen. Period. The end.
And so
that's what the spiritual says. Ain't nobody gonna turn us around.
Come too far.
We will not be turned around. We're gonna vote.
And so lastly, that is as you're coming in, you've shown your ID, you get your you're going into the booth to
get your little thing that has your code
get your
on
card, right? So you're going to do your franchise, and so just want to highlight the value of having that sample ballot with you, and having had done that homework. It's a night and day difference between just going in the voting booth.
Absolutely.
And right.
Because once you get in there and you turn that little wheel and you hit that first race and you do that, you got your thing, and you are going to mark them all, bing, 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 just like that. Instead of, oh, how many more do I have to go?
Well, if you just don't know, that's one of the problems that I've had in the past, is you're voting, and if you're party affiliated, you kind of you can look, but there's just a kind of an uncomfort in just voting for someone and you don't know. And there's certain circumstances where sometimes a no vote is, if you don't agree, just because somebody is of a particular party that you vote with, it's to each person's own. It's for each person to make that decision, but it's just so much easier when you've seen someone's picture, when you've read at least something about what they stand for.
That's right.
Or if you just have it in your hand.
You've read it. You know that we looked at Frederica Phillips, for example, who's running. She's an incumbent judge. So you've read about her. You read about her opponent, and you've made a decision. I'm going to vote for Frederica. you know, you might not know Frederica if she walked up to you when you coming out of the voting booth, but you have read about her. You know
Mm.
how she feels about her job and what she intends to do that will make you able to sleep at night knowing that anyone who comes into her court is going to be treated fairly.
Right.
So, so
Right. Or,
and that's
you know,
not an endorsement for Frederica.
I'm with you. I
Used
understand what you're
her in a
saying.
previous video.
Right.
So,
But I think, to give another example, if you're thinking about voting for somebody and, they didn't take the time to fill out the questionnaire,
hmm
and
yeah,
or they answered something and you say, oh, that's how you feel. So it'll at least you'll go in with far more knowledge than you would have gone in
that's
having
right.
never put together your sample ballot or
And
done your candidate
you are
research.
walking in with the confidence
Yes.
that you are prepared to vote. So, and there's nothing that's a good feeling. I have walked into the voting booth not knowing anything.
Hmm.
And it's very frustrating. You come out and you're like, did I do the right thing?
Yeah.
Maybe having to vote each race is a good thing because I think what it's forcing us to do this year is to really learn about who we're voting for. And once you become an informed voter, I honestly believe you'll be a voter for life. And that's really what the folks our ancestors who came before us and fought for these voting rights, that's what they wanted for us. So we honor them. We honor them by being informed voters. So that's my little plug.
Amen. So we've gotten to the point to where now we walked it out and we've got the I voted sticker on our chest, and
Mhm.
just we're almost there. We're very close. So thank you so much, Pam. We honor you. We value your wisdom. We value your passion, and you are a treasure to everyone in Fort Bend, and I love you very much. Go ahead.
What I do want to remind you, and if you have any kind of problem with the machine or anything else, and remember, after you have voted everything, please review to make
Mm.
sure that all the people you wanted to vote for show up on that before you do the cast ballot.
Hit submit. Yeah.
Because there are always reports that machines have changed some votes. So pay attention and review that when it gives you your ballot and your selections. Make sure that you check them all against your, guess what, sample ballot that you brought in with
Amen.
you. So that's another good thing used for that sample ballot. And if you have a problem, raise your hand and get one of those election clerks or that election judge to come over to your machine. Don't push
Don't try
that
to
button.
fix it.
Don't push that button until you are feeling comfortable. So, and if you're having trouble turning the wheel or doing whatever, call them up because those machines have been in use for a long time. They sometimes malfunction. Uh, don't nobody's trying to rush you out of the voting booth.
Hmm.
Take your time, do what you need to do. If you need some help, ask for help.
Just make sure everything and everyone that you voted for by checking your sample ballot
Mm-hmm.
is where it
Mm-hmm.
needs to be before you
That's
hit
right.
submit.
That's correct.
Once you hit submit, you're good. You've made it.
That's right.
You
And
voted.
you can get your little thing and you can put it
Hit your
on
sticker.
and you can
Nice.
come, you can take a selfie outside. You can't take pictures
Yes.
inside, but you can come
Yes.
outside and you can take a selfie
And you
and you
beat
can
me to the
say,
punch because that was going to be my close. So all the Wheeler members, after you voted, we're going to take a selfie, preferably with a Wheeler shirt on, with your sticker, with the hashtag Wheeler Votes. Okay.
oh, I love that.
Wheeler Votes. Hashtag, put that up, share it, and then engage your network and ask your
Yes.
people what their voting plan is. Don't take I don't know for an answer.
Yes.
How are you going to vote? If you're voting by mail, have you applied for an application to get a mail-in ballot? Are
Yep.
you going to mail that mail-in ballot? Are you going to take it and drop it off? If you're going to vote in person, where are you going to vote? What day are you going to vote? What time are you going to vote? Make people give a commitment and then
Yep.
follow up. If they haven't voted by Friday, they're fashionably late. But we
And
will vote. Go ahead.
and make a list of 10 people, more if you can. Make a list of 10 people, and this weekend you start calling them to remind them that early voting starts on the 13th of October.
Yes.
And if they need help, if they need, you ask them, what is your voting plan? When are you going to vote? Where are you going to vote? Do you need a ride to go vote? Can I help you? Whatever, but make a list of 10 people. You know, some folks have 10 grandchildren, so, who are all voting age. Call your grandchildren and tell your grown children, their parents to go vote too. So, make family, friends, frenemies.
Mm.
If you're in the
So we'll
grocery
make peace.
store,
We'll make peace for 2 weeks.
that's right. Have you voted? Has everybody in here voted? So, because
Amen.
this is critical. We're laughing and smiling and we're having a good time talking about this because I love talking about this.
Me
But
too.
I'm really serious. This election is, in my 73 years, the most critical election that I will have ever voted in.
Without
And,
question.
our health care,
Mm.
our social security, our just
Our physical personal safety.
the safety net, the
You know,
social safety net, how we treat and respect each other in this country is all on the line. But most important, as our forever president Barack Obama said, democracy is on the ballot.
yes.
And democracy is messy, and sometimes we don't like it. But democracy means that we are all equal
Mm.
under the law. And, as African American people, we know what that word equal means. So your vote on October 13th to November 3rd, you have the same vote that Bill Gates has. You got one vote. He's got one vote. We are equal. Make sure that your vote counts
Our
and
vote
your
must
voice
count.
is heard.
Amen.
Thank you, Ray.
We in fit voting condition. I love it.
Hey,
God bless you, man, Pam.
thank you.
That's enough. So we'll see you back again on voting boot camp. Mr. Don Odom Jr., Sister Pam Gaskin. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you. Enjoy
God bless
voting.
you. All right. Take care.
Bye.